At Michael Murphy Sports and Leisure, we cater for everyone, from top sporting athletes to relaxed casual sporting individuals and everyone in between. We also provide a large range of teamwear services and cater for schools and clubs. Orders can be customised to your specification to suit your individual needs. From clothing to equipment, we've got you covered.
I was the Donegal captain, Nicholas Whirley. Nicholas, talk to me about Donegal, a relatively new club at adult level.
Relatively new, yeah, probably last maybe 5-6 years maybe. First year we came up, we were in the junior final. I think we were beat that year, came back the following year, won the junior. Struggled then for a couple of years maybe at senior level, but found our feet now this year at intermediate, so we're going rightly. Yeah, everything's going well. The club's in the right direction, everything's going up. Footballers are going well, both tiers, senior and reserve. But no, hurlers are going rightly now this year, so it's good to reach a final. Yeah, we were 5 down at half time though. We found ourselves behind at half time, came out, 5 down at half time, came out and got level straight away. James Hartnett scored a goal to start, Richie got a couple of frees, then just kicked on from there really. Richie got most of the scores maybe from frees and that, but James got a goal, or McGonigal got a goal, and say Richie maybe got the third, so yeah. Yeah, it'd be great now. Great to take the trophy home after the hard year's work we put in. A few hard games, hard training, cold nights, so long season just, so it'd be good to finish us over.
Jordan Barr. Jordan, talk to me about the route to the final and how satisfied, obviously satisfied with the results, how satisfied would you be with your side performances?
Our side's performance now, I have to say, I'm very proud of the lads. Like, we put in hard work, especially training with the senior team. Like, it's been a good year, it's been a hard year, starting early on in the year. I'm happy with the lads. We put in good performances, good sides, we played some good teams. Some good scoring. Now the likes of Donegal coming up now in the final, it's going to be a hard game. We had a hard game there a couple of weeks back. They gave us a good game, a hard game. Bet us by a good bit now, so they did, like, you know, so they're going to be a good side now on Saturday, so they're. Well, there wasn't a certain person in particular now, so there's a lot of lads there in the forward line that are well capable of scoring. I wouldn't say now that there's one particular lad taking all the scores, so now I have to say every lad up there, the top 6, everyone's putting scores on the board, so no, I'm happy now with the boys, so I am. It's a great privilege to be the captain of the team, 100%, like, you know, to be leading them lads into such tight games, tough games, like, you know, of 100%, like, it's a privilege, so it is more than anything else, so it is. Yeah, it does. Look, it means the world to me. But I feel like it wouldn't matter. Like, if it was at Naomh Park, anywhere else, I feel like this game is going to be a big game regardless. But again, it does. It means the world. Like, that is in Naomh Park, 100%. Like, it's going to take a lot. We're going to have to dig deep down, 100% deep down to do it. Like, they're a great side, some great players. Again, I can't name out one specific player. Like, they're a great side. some great scoring going on at the minute throughout their campaign. Like, so it's going to take a lot for us to come out and beat them, but hopefully we can get ourselves over the line and do it.
And you're welcome back to our coverage of the Donegal Senior Hurling Finals, which are taking place here at the O'Donnell Park in Letterkenny. Already this afternoon, victory for Letterkenny Gaels, taking their first big, hurling title with a comfortable win over Burt. Next up in Game 2, it is, of course, the intermediate decider where Dunlow are taking on St Eunan's. St Eunan's, as we know, have two teams here on final day, and the first of their teams is going to be battling for the Intermediate Cup against a Dunlow side, who of course are looking to lift this title for the very first time. Interestingly, none of these teams have ever won the Intermediate Cup because it is a relatively new competition. It was formed in 2002. Sean McCool's won the first 2 years of it on both occasions, defeating Carndonagh, and Carndonagh unfortunately lost out in the third game as well in 2024 as they went down at the hands of Buncrana 12 months ago. But here this afternoon, both of these clubs have an opportunity at the first time of asking of lifting this intermediate title, senior intermediate title. We're going to have the parade here now taking place at the O'Donnell Park with St Eunan's. You could say they're the home club here. This is, of course, their home patch here at the O'Donnell Park in Letterkenny. But we're hoping we're going to get a nice, tasty affair served up here ahead of the senior decider, which throws in, of course, at 5 o'clock on co-commentary for this game, and indeed for the other game as well, is Donegal senior manager Mickey McCann. Hiya, Mickey. Welcome to our coverage today. Good to see you.
Thanks, Oisin. Thanks.
And I suppose, Mickey, we're hoping we're going to get a good game out of this. Certainly some very talented hurlers on both sides here. We've got the likes of a man that you know well, Richie Ryan, of course, a former county star, and then St Eunan's have quite a few very talented hurlers in their ranks as well ahead of this intermediate game. So we're hoping we get a really good game this afternoon in this one.
Yeah, I suppose tight affair. I suppose number one is going to be a great day of hurling. You expect, a good one for Letterkenny Gales there, another up and coming team. So you're looking forward to this one, as you say. Richie Ryan in there at full forward is going to be helpful. He's been about the county setup for a few years with us, and we all know what he's about, and he's going to be definitely a big fire put out for St Eunan's. But look, big day for St Eunan's with both teams being in the final, and it shows the numbers they're putting out, and look, they'll be really keen to get 2 cups today. But look, this is Dunlow's first team. You expect they should have enough in this, but looking at that Eunice team, very young and fit, and a bit of experience and run it, so expect a good game,
And the conditions aren't great, so it's very, very slippy. It's going to be tricky out there, so it is, and that can have a big bearing on this game, so it can.
It does, always does in hurling. Actually, and one wee slip in defence, and somebody's onside you, so you have to adjust very, very, very quickly to the conditions, and there's a bit of a breeze out there too. And just watching that first game, it was tough scoring, and Bert playing down on the river and struggled the second half completely, so the conditions are definitely going to have a big bearing in both games, and both managers will know that going out into the start of the games,
Yeah. Okay, let's run through the starting lineups. We'll begin with Dunlow and Clocha have made 2 changes from that which is named in the programme. Philip Rogers comes in to take the place of Mark Timoney in goal, so 1 replaces 16. In the full-back line, Rob Ryan with 20 on his back will take the place of Evan McFadden. Cormac Hanlon and Mark Gavigan make up the rest of the full-back line at 3 and 4. Nicholas Worley, Damien McGowan and Brendan Boyle at 5, 6 and 7. Conor Diver and Kevin Gavigan are in midfield. Owen Walsh, Keelan Wade and Sean O'Donnell of the half-forward line. James Hartnett, Richie Ryan and Fintan O'Toole of the full forwards. And we'll give you the St Eunan's team in just a few moments. So the starting 15 for St Eunan's this afternoon, this intermediate decider. Dara McBride will take his place in goals. They will line out as per the programme. Killian Barr, Shane Ellison and JP Kern make up the full back line. At 17 in the half back line in the wing is Conor Neely. Eddie Gaffey is at 6 and Mark Mulholland wears number 7. Paul O'Donnell and Stephen Doherty are the midfield partnership for the Cathedral Town side. Jordan Barr, Steve Donoghue and Calvin Edu make up the half forward line. Donoghue wears 18, and then we've got Gavin Ford, Pierce Glynn and Brendan Gaffney at 13, 14 and 15, and they are the full forward line ahead of this intermediate decider as both teams line out. It's a big day for Mark Brown as well. The Four Masters man has made the trip through the gap, and he's here to take charge of this one, and both of these sides of course will be looking to make a statement early on in this game to try and get a front in what is very, very tricky conditions. Listen, lots can happen, as you know, Mickey, in hurling matches. How crucial is it for either side to get a good start here?
Oh, very, very, very important. Especially some of the young lads, to get settled into the game. They'll be expecting to get a first touch right, and do something right, start to get settled in. So, look, it's like this unit team's full of legs. We're Dunlo's been around the block with me the last 2 or 3 years. It's going to be an interesting contest, So, there's some experienced players out there. You've James Hartnett there for Dunlo, who's been about the county set up and side along with Richie Ryan, so that's a bit of threat in there, with the first score from Richie Ryan. There you go.
Yeah, the first score is over the bar into the clubhouse end off the ground here, and it's the big full forward, the county man Richie Ryan gets the opening score here with just 35 seconds on the clock. So for the first time, St Eunan's, the puck out goes long. It's going to drop in around the middle. Edu has it, does well. He's going to work it up the right hand side. He sends a low one as the forwards come rushing out as far as the 21. Edo's looking for a return. However, the corner forward is just gone to the left and wide, and that will be Gavin Ford's effort just at the last second, tailed out to the left and wide of the upright.
Yeah, good take by Calvin there, and we short ball in, but just wide of the post, So just probably a point they should have taken there, just get themselves settled into the game. But
how important is it to get early scores to settle into a big final like this?
Actually, in the finals, yourself, especially as a forward, you want to get on target early and get your eye in. If you get 1 or 2 wides, you can lose a bit of completion, in the game. So. Gavin Ford there will be looking to get his next shot over the bar. If you had a couple of wides, you start losing a bit of.
Already the ball's away up the other end of the field, and Dunlo are being penalised for not releasing the ball quick enough, and it's going to be a free out to St Eunan's in these early stages here, and the Dunlo player in question's on the ground after taking a bit of a slap in there, just getting his breath. Mark Brown is going over just to check on the player, and 2 minutes on the clock here. And just one score to tell you about. Richie Ryan, the former county star for Dunlo. They will, of course, be looking for a huge performance of him today if they're to be in with a shout of taking this intermediate title. So the ball is back in play, but it's not controlled well there by Jordan Barr. Dunlo have it back again with Conor Diver. Diver now looking to work it through a couple of challenges, but again it breaks out, and St Eunan's trying to get their hand on it, but it's Dunlo that has it, and it's that man Richie Ryan again. He's a powerful big player. He was able to ride the challenge there and goes to ground. He probably knew exactly what he was doing, but he's an opportunity here now from about 60 metres out, dead straight in front of the post, to send this one over the bar and give Dunlo an opportunity to increase their advantage. They lead here by 1, and Richie Ryan dead straight in front of the post, looking to make it a 2-score game here at the O'Donnell Park in this intermediate final. He's just sizing it up. Here comes Ryan, and that one goes high, and that one tails over the bar. 2 from Richie Ryan. The low need to hear by 2 scores to 0. Mickey McCann, Ryan showing his experience there.
Yeah, and talking to you off air, if he gets it in his hand, he's just so strong and clinical, and he just sucks you into the tackle, and he's prone to buy frees, and we know at county level he's well able to hit frees too. So good start by Richie, and something Eunan's would have been trying to stop, but he seems to be on form, and as I say, if he gets the ball in his hands enough at times, he definitely do damage, and they'll struggle with him. He's a massive threat.
And Dunlo just working it again and able to win the ball back, and it's Conor Diver once again who's going to spread it out now to Mark Gavigan. Gavigan looks up to see what the options are. He tails one up out to the left, looking for the wing forward Owen Walsh, but there's just too much on it. Goes over the top, and the first man there is JP Kern for St Eunan's, but the Dunlo man's not done. He's harrying very, very good, looking to get his hurl in there and get the ball, but Eunan's managed to get it out. They had the numbers advantage there, so they had, but they haven't controlled this one right. They haven't got it away yet, and Richie Ryan comes in once again with a clever bit of hurling to nick it away, but again the ball breaks down and the chase is on. It's a bit scrappy here from both sides at the moment as they try to release the ball. The midfielder Stephen Doherty. Doherty's going to hook it forward, but it only comes to Conor Diver. Diver sizes this one up outside the 45. That one is high and it drops over the bar, and Diver's got his first, and it's the white flag raised again. And Dunloe certainly put the hammer on here in the opening 4 minutes. They lead by 3 points to no score, Mickey.
Yeah, and it's great pressure by the Dunloe forward line. Actually, they just wouldn't let Eunice get out at all there and forced them into a bad clearance. Conor Diver was sitting around the middle there to take a good score, and Conor, as a lad, was up about the county around the 20 levels and all, so well able to do a bit of damage there if he gets time and space like that. But Dunloe started very, very strong here, and their forwards are working very, very hard, and Union's struggling to get out of defence, actually. But Dunloe will be very, very happy the way he started this final.
But as you said earlier, Mickey, it seems to be these posts down to the clubhouse end of the ground of the scoring posts.
It seems to be, from what I watched in that last match, so as I say, Dunloe's going to have to make the most of that. But just again, watching that, Dunloe has a lot of numbers around the ball and working really hard, and to keep that up, they'll be hard to beat today, because that's what it's all about when you get a dirty day like this. It's the work rate and the numbers you get around the ball. So work rate will be key,
So Union's have it back now. Eddie Gaffey going to send that one up the line. Out comes Gavin Ford once again. On his tail is Sean O'Donnell. Ford now gets a low one into the edge of we can see the arc there obviously for the football, but it's a disappointing pass from St Eunan's, and it's easily cut out there by McGowan, and McGowan's just going to hook that one up into the St Eunan's half. Up they go for it, the ball drops, it's on the deck, the chase is on once again. James Hartnett goes in and does well. Hartnett now from about 40 metres out, it's blocked down there with a hurl, and the referee is going to call, is it Eddie Gaffey over, and this is going to be a free to Dunloe just outside that 45, and there's a St Eunan's player in there that's going to get a card. Just looking down to see, it's the cornerback Killian Barr who has been spoken to the referee. That's his warning. Book goes back into the pocket of Mark Brown. Out comes Richie Ryan. He'll be looking for his third score here, and a score that would put Dunloe in a 4-point advantage. Very early doors in this game. We have played 6.5 minutes. Ryan again. Well, the umpires are consulting.
Wide ball. Yeah,
that one's gone wide. First wide of the game for Dunloe. It stays at a 3 points to no score fixture here, but St Eunan's need to get motoring, so they do. Mickey.
They've played two up front here, and Dunloe is leaving the space and going after the ball and getting numbers out the pitch. And that last ball was actually a good ball under the forwards, but a crossfield ball in from the Union's corner forward, and was intercepted. So, but a space up front if Union's can get the ball in, to them two lads. But Dunloe's backing himself here, rushing just to go after this game, St Eunan's are able to clear the danger. It's going to fall now to Paul O'Donnell. O'Donnell out ahead of McGowan. Mark Mulholland now is the wing back for St Eunan's, but he can't control it. And again, Dunloe, just with a bit of physical presence there, are able to shield the ball, and both sides continuing to work hard to try and get it. And body's been pushed around. Now the ball comes out. St Eunan's have it, and the aim here is to get it up the field and clear the danger. But again, it's going to go straight to a Dunloe man, and it's Rob Ryan who's playing in that cover role ahead of his defenders. But St Eunan's have done well to get it back. It's going to go over the top and into space, and Calvin Edu is chasing this one down. Eddie now turns on it. Is this one going to find the target? Yes, it does, and St Eunan's have got their opening score. Has come from Calvin Edu, and it has taken almost 8 minutes off this tie. It's a 3-1 fixture. Maybe that will settle the home. We'll call them the home side, so we will, but maybe that'll settle St Eunan's now, Mickey. Yeah, great score, rushing, and I suppose a poor clearance by St Eunan's there, and it was actually tidied up by Dunloe, but they actually lost possession again, and a good turnover by Eunan's, and a great score by Calvin there. So as I say, he started lively enough on this side, and I played juniors a couple of years ago when he was playing Oshin, and he's loads of legs, and if that kind of space stays there, he'll definitely he'll make a defender working hard and tracking back, because he's loads of legs there,
And now the ball's sent into the half of Dunloe, and St Eunan's are looking for another score. But brilliant defending and brilliant tackling there by Dunloe, but the referee says no, it was a foul on the St Eunan's player Jordan Barr, and it will be a free just on the edge of the Dunloe half. And out coming to take this is Gavin Ford. It seems going to be the man that will be taking these frees here. And can he reduce the deficit now to just a single point? It's currently a 3-1 fixture here in favour of Dunlow. Dunlow had the opportunity to go 4 up, but St Eunan's responded with their first score of the game. And now we watch Gavin Ford, 64 metres out, sends it high, and that one drops, and it drops over the bar. That's a top drawer score by Gavin Ford, and it's a score now which reduces the deficit to just 1. And after a shaky enough start, St Eunan's back in it, Mickey.
Yeah, it was all Dunlow, Oisín, but as you say, hurling changed so quick, and it's back to a 1 point game, and actually well taken free under the breeze there by Gavin Ford, and as you say, Eunan's starting to get a wee grip of things around here and getting on the ball a lot. So fairly even, Oisín. Good start, but low. But Eunan's are well back in this game now, and it's, as you say, just going up and down the pitch here, used all end-to-end stuff.
Rob Ryan sends it under the danger zone once again, but the fullback Shane Ellison is out ahead of Richie Ryan. Ellison does well there. The second attempt kicks it away. The ball's sent high up the field, and the target now is Pierce Glynn. Full drops kindly for Glynn. Again looking to get turned on to the hurl here. Glynn flicks it high, and that one is going to drop out to, well, I was going to say wide, but it's the bounce just kept it in play. A heavy sod here today at St Eunan's due to the rain. Brendan Boyd clears the danger. Back it goes towards the middle of the park. It's picked up there again now. I think it's Ellison who pops it forward. And St Eunan's looking for a score here. On the big 18 is the centre half forward Steve Donoghue. And having been 3 points down in this game in 4 minutes, we've now played 10 and a half, and St Eunan's have levelled it up at 3 apiece with 3 different scores. Yeah,
much better by the Eunan's full back line. Actually, Shane Ellison getting out in front of Richie Ryan that time and getting first to the ball and building up an attack from there, and that's going to be key, because Dunlow's going to be trying to go through Richie a lot, and there's going to be a lot of pressure on Shane Ellison, but that time he came out in front and won the ball and straight up the pitch, and you could have scored it. Now that's momentum changing stuff. So as I say, if you look up there, Richie's just been left up top with the full back. So there's going to be a lot of pressure on that young lad in there, but dealt well the last couple of balls now,
Yeah, and St Eunan's working hard now. Here's Ford once again. Comes back the way to Donoghue. He wants a second here. It's not going to happen, however, because it's going to tail out to the left, and again it stays in play. And the keeper for Clocha, Philip Rogers, sends away up the park once again. But St Eunan's are working hard now defensively after a shaky enough start. They've seemed to have settled, but they've given that one away to McGowan. McGowan can't control it. St Eunan's working harder. It's kicked forward. And now breaks once again for Eunan's. Straight up the park it goes. Under the age of that 45 as they're pushing the back. Referee Mark Brown says no. Play continues with Dunlow now coming to bring it underneath the stand here. The Dr. James McDade stand at the O'Donnell Park, but they can't control it. And it's easily dealt with there by Conor Neely. But Dunlow have it back now with Worley. Coverage is there for St Eunan's, and they get it up to Donoghue once again. They're trying to break through the middle of the park. It breaks for Ford, does it? Yeah, Ford's able to turn his man, and the chase is on. It's Ford against O'Donnell. Ford gets there first. Ford's going to turn, but Ford can't find the target. Goes out to the right and wide. That will be a second wide of the game for St Eunan's. Certainly they have all the momentum at the moment. Ford will be disappointed with that, Mickey.
Yeah, and Gavin would normally put them away. It's a couple of chances now in front of the post that you expect them to take. Oisín, and when you get them chances in finals, you got to have to take them. But just looking here, Eddie Gaffey sort of freed up now in front of Richie, so Eunan's are very wary of that space in front of them, so they've dropped the man back here, and the last couple of balls has gone into Eddie's hand. They've built from there, so Dunlow's got to use to keep it away from that sweeper position now, and keep it wide and maybe get it to their spare man. So it's going to be important.
That's the voice of Donegal senior hurling manager Mickey McCann, who's on commentary here this afternoon for the Donegal Intermediate Final on the Donegal GAA Stream Sports Service, and indeed here on Highland Radio as well. We welcome our listeners who have just tuned in, and we've had an entertaining game. It's currently 3 points apiece. Dunlow were 3 minutes to the good with 4 minutes on the clock. 2 from Richie Ryan and 1 from Conor Diver. But since then, St Eunan's, I suppose all the momentum in this game has been with St Eunan's, Ado, Ford and Donoghue all getting on the score sheet to level it up at 3 points apiece. On the clock now, 13 2.5 minutes played, and it's a level playing field still for both of these teams here. Now the rain has stopped, but the conditions, there is a heavy sod out there and it is slippy at the moment, but we're certainly getting an entertaining game in this the second fixture rather this afternoon at the O'Donnell Park. Earlier today, we're just joining our coverage. Letterkenny Gaels had a comfortable one against Burt to take victory in the junior final. Again now Ford is out ahead of O'Donnell. He turns again on the other side of the pitch and he's got a second point here. Gavin Ford, I think that's maybe his 5th attempt on target, but he's got 2 points, one down the right side, one down the left, and for the first time now St Eunan's are leading, Mickey.
Yeah, and Gavin finally got his eye in there, and he's doing everything right in them other chances too, just barely missing the post, but that time from probably the hardest chance he had, a great score from a bit of an angle, so that'll settle him down again, and he seems to be a target for them, when they're playing 2 up and the ball's sticking with them, so I think they'll just keep going there,
So the ball now again just on the edge of that 45 in the Dunlow half as St Eunan's look to get it, and it's Donoghue who's chasing it down. It pops out, but there's 2 Dunlow men there. There's enough for coverage there for the Rosses Park man. Brendan Boyle now has it, needs to stay out of traffic, pops it out to the right hand side, and the man with 18 in his back is Conor Dever, one of their point scorer. Ryan again's the target, but St Eunan's seemed to have Ryan tied up for the last 5 minutes or so. He was very, very dominant in the opening couple of minutes, but he hasn't had the same impact, I suppose, since the 5th minute of the tie. And St Eunan's were able to deal with it. They thought they were able to deal with it. Kevin Gavigan, it comes to him, and he's punished St Eunan's now for that mistake. And Gavigan splits the post, and it's a 4 points apiece fixture. And Dunlow punishing St Eunan's on that occasion.
Yeah, and it's all coming from Dunlow's that worry about Richie. They're getting a lot of bodies in there, and which leaves Dunlow a wee bit, a couple of spare bodies at the pitch. And that time, Eunan's clearance went straight to 1. So it's important Dunlow start using the spare man, that they don't get too much around Richie and try to keep putting it in there with spare men and start hitting points from distance like that, And there's Eddie Gaffney here, I've seen him pulling up a wee minute ago, and I think he's coming ashore here. So he'll be a bit of experience lost for St Eunan's. He usually holds that centre back position toughly, So he'll be a wee bit of loss for them, and seem to be sitting around Richie a lot. So this could be a wee bit of a change for Eunan's here,
So Eddie Gaffey is going to come off. Big 19 is John McIntyre. He will come into the game. So it's 19 for 6. A forced change there on the St Eunan's camp. Eddie Gaffey with a lot of experience, of course, and a man that is heavily involved in youth coaching or hurling and the county as well. He has to come off. He's twigged something. So St Eunan's have made a change, and we'll see what they do now with John McIntyre, who goes in there to help out with the back 6, and we'll wait to see what his job will be. Will he go on Richie Ryan? The ball's going to drop out just below us here, out that right hand channel heading up the field, but it's Dunlow again who break there. Brendan Boyle wins the race, gets to the head of Neely. Boyle now, he's going to just send a high one on, let her drop for Ryan to see what he can do. There's 2 men in there. The chase is on. Out comes the goalkeeper who doesn't deal with it. Ryan has it now. Ryan's able to ride a challenge. He hits it hard and low. It comes off a St Eunan's player. The hurls go in the air. The ball now is on the ground, and it's Dunlow. Well, they thought they had it, and this scrap is on to get control of it once again. The Dunlow player has it. He's on the deck. The ball is still there. It pops out. St Eunan's seem to have enough players there for coverage on it, and they're going to clear it and look to get it away to safety. Up the channel it goes. Out comes Steve Donoghue, but again the delivery is not good because Rob Ryan gets there first. Ryan sends it in. The hurls go in the air. The ball breaks. The Eunan's have it back into the centre of the field. Barr is the target. Barr needs to watch his house. He does well there. He's won a free too. The referee is going to play advantage on this occasion. Neely sends it upfield, and Calvin's on the run once again. Calvin Edu gets there ahead of Nicholas Worthy. Is there a push in the back? Referee says no. The supporters looking for a free. Dunlow are going to get it back here, are they? The wing forward is Sean O'Donnell, who comes out with it. Needs to clear the danger. Sends it up the channel now. Back into the St Eunan's half. But coverage is there with the midfielder Paul O'Donnell. O'Donnell now is going to go to Neely once again. Neely looking to find one of his forwards, but it's easily cut out with on this occasion by the 18 Conor Dever, who was in with coverage there. Dunlow of a back. Dever's just going to send a high one in, and again Ryan's going to be the target. Drop short. St Eunan's haven't dealt with it. They're able to flick it out, and it's Stephen Doherty, is it, that clears the danger and gives it out now to Mark Mulholland. Mulholland goes up the field with this one. That drops for Donoghue, but Donoghue can't control it. The defender does well. Spinning around, of course, the 20, Rob Ryan. Not names to start, but coming in the place of Evan McFadden. Now the ball drops again inside the 45 in the St. Eunan's half. But St. Eunan's have enough players there for coverage. By the way, the score, if you're just joining us, it's 4 points apiece here at the Donegal Park in the Donegal Intermediate Final. On the clock, we have played bang on 19 minutes. It's certainly been an entertaining game, but there's nothing separating Dunloe and St. Eunan's at the moment. And certainly it's hard going out there. It's hard grafting, Mickey.
Yeah, and look, I suppose a couple of plays ago, actually, maybe Richie should have took his point. He went for a goal there with a lot of bodies around him, and Eunice turned it over. So no, just keep the scoreboard ticking over. He's been double marked there. Stephen Doherty's actually fell in the Eddie Gaffey's role and sitting in front of Richie. So Dunloe's going to have to maybe hurl through the lines a wee bit more and take an odd point from range to suck Stephen Doherty back out of his position. If not, he's going to sit there and sniff out Richie. So important unit or Dunloe get their hands on the ball around the middle sector. Rushing, it's one behind them. Take a few scores and maybe Stephen Doherty will start thinking he has to come out again, because Stephen Doherty's been always a first team hurler. He's been away for a few years, and he always would have been a first teamer for St. Eunan's, so he's well able to sit in that centre back role and cut out that space. So Dunloe just maybe if a spare man, I shouldn't start using him. Eunan's is just more effective at the minute.
Brendan Gaffney will have missed free that went wide. That's a third wide of the game for St. Eunan's. Plays continuing here. Paul O'Donnell has it. St. Eunan's are going to launch it into the Dunloe half once again. Over the top of everybody it goes. The chase is on. Down beside the flag on the 21. They're pushed in the back. The referee not blown it. The linesman didn't give it either, but it is going to be a sideline puck to St. Eunan's. The player down there was Pierce Glynn. And I'm just watching Mark Brown. It's actually going to be a Dunloe ball. So the Dunloe player going to get it. Maybe St. Eunan's feeling that they were hard done by on that occasion, that there may have been a push in the back on the big 14 for the Letterkenny side, but that didn't materialise. In the meantime, the sideline puck is going to be taken by Brendan Boyle here. Boyle's just going to place this ball, and Dunloe, of course, off to a blustering start in this game, leading by 3 points to no score, then went 4-3 down. Kevin Gavigan levelled up the game. That was in 15 minutes, and we haven't had a score now for 6 minutes. And now the officials have changed their mind, and it's going to be a St. Eunan's sideline puck, which I thought was the original decision, but Mark Brown overturned it. But in consultation with his linesman, it's back for a St. Eunan's sideline puck. Now the angle is a bit tight. It's just down there, and that, I suppose, that wee part of the arc between the 21 and the sideline, and it's not hit great there by Gaffey. Dunloe are going to come away with that. It's sent up the channel and into the St. Eunan's half once again. Out comes the midfielder Doherty. Doherty's going to send it into space. The players are going to meet about 50 metres out in the Dunloe half, and it's St. Eunan's who have it. It's Donoghue who has it. Steps inside the 40-metre arc and sends that one over the bar. And St. Eunan's have edged in front once again, and it's Stephen Donoghue who's got his second, both from play, both from distance, and St. Eunan's 5-4 to the good.
Yeah, he's a busy player, this Steve Donoghue. I actually don't know much about him, and he's been very busy at centre forward there, and he's very accurate in front of the posts. 2 good scores from him, and I think the marking maybe just need to tighten up a wee bit because a lot of balls going through him. But just back to he pushes the back. Mark Brown seemed to let that kind of tackle go today. Actually, it's been 3 or 4 times. Maybe teams are looking for it, but he's letting it go, which is fair enough if it's going to happen all day, because there's very little in it, slippy and a wee nudge. So
what would you like to see in hurling, Mickey?
I do. And I think in Donegal hurling, maybe they're shouting at the refs to blow a lot, and it ends up a free taking competition, but I think a lot, if you're watching the top tier teams, a lot more was let go and the tackles and all, and I feel up here you're shouting all the time at the refs for any wee niggle. So I don't think them was.
You wouldn't be shouting at refs, would you?
No, well, as I say, if it's going across the board. If it's across the board, you're happy enough, but if he's blowing it for one team, you'll be shouting surely. But look, I think he's done a good job so far. I don't see much on them tackles.
Okay, you're doing a good job, Mark Brown. That's according to the Donegal senior manager, Mickey McCann. Anyway, it's still a 5-4 game here. It's a sideline puck to Dunloe, and Dunloe will have it just in the 45 in the Eunan's half, and it's the 23 who's going to race up the field with it, James Hartnett. Hartnett's effort, however, goes out to the right and wide, and that would be a 4th wide of the game for Dunloe, 3 for St. Eunan's. It stays at 5-4 on the clock, 23.5 minutes played. So we've got 6.5 to go, plus whatever additional time is going to be added on by the officials as both of these sides chase the intermediate title for the first time in their history. Neither side has competed in the short life of this competition. It's only been in existence since 2022, so it's been played 3 times. Cults winning it twice, Buncrana winning it last year, and St Eunan's and Dunloe are looking to lift it for the first time. It's a big day for St Eunan's, 2 sides in hurling finals here in the intermediate final. We have a team, and of course they've got a side in the senior decider against St Tanta to come at 5 o'clock. It's sent up the field by John McIntyre, and now the referee's going to blow for a free. About a hold in there by Rob Ryan, this occasion on Jordan Barr. They're having a right old tussle there, the two of them. Barr was being held back. The ball's going to be placed just shy of the 45, and it's going to give Gavin Ford an opportunity here now to give St Eunan's a 2-point advantage for the first time in this game, Mickey. A 3-point advantage, for the first time in this game. And into this breeze, that certainly would give them a slight advantage.
Yeah, if you're Eunan's, you'd be quite happy at half time, get in with that slight breeze against you and 2 or 3 points up. Possibly, I think Richie Ryan maybe needs to come out around the half forward line and get on a few balls and stuff and get Dunloe settled in. It's a long time since Dunloe scored. They need to get a point on the board to get things settled down again. But Dunloe's doing a lot of fouling here around this half forward, around their half back line here when St Eunan's run at them. So I'm sure Eunan's know they've legs there and will keep doing that. And but as I say, it's up front maybe Dunloe, there's nothing sticking with them, you know. But as you say, this gap could go out to 3 points here, and as you say, after Dunloe's good start, they need to get a score here very, very soon. Yeah,
okay. It's 5-4 in my score sheet. The scoreboard says 6-4. Maybe the score man on the board might give a 2-pointer for one of those. But this one's going to drop, and it's going to go out for, it's the umpires deciding here. It's going to be a 65. So it is. So it's going to be, I was looking when I looked down, Mickey, and I seen 5-4 in my notes, and you were telling me it was going to be a 3-point game. Yeah, somebody's got it wrong along the way.
Well, I think you're right, Oisin. I don't think those 2 scores there. I was just going with the scoreboard. I thought I missed something, but I think it possibly is 5-4.
Yeah, it's a 5-4 game here. The boys, the other guys in the press area here are agreeing with us here, so I think we may be right. So it's a 5-4 game to St Eunan's. And we're watching the 65 being taken by Gavin Ford. So Ford's going to have another opportunity here now for St Eunan's to make it a 2-point game. Ford standing over this one. He's looking downfield. And he's just waiting for the signal to come. Mark Brown is giving him that. Here comes Ford. Short, that one's going to drop short. The hurl's in the air, and it's going to be marked as a wide. Wide number 4 for St Eunan's. So both sides with 4 wides on the scoreboard. It hasn't changed. It's 5-4 to St Eunan's. So it's still a 1-point advantage to the Cathedral Town men as we go to 3 minutes to go here on Donegal GAA Stream Sport TV and also on Highland Radio Saturday Sport. Breaking out now is Steve Dunn, who's had a good first half for St Eunan's. Blocked down there. And it's Kevin Gavigan who went in hard and heavy and fully committed. A brave boy, and it bounced off him, and he's taking a whack with the slutter, so he has, and he's just going to take a breather here as he goes to the deck. And listen, these hurlers are all brave men when they're good on it. When hurlers have been fired about and the ball's been hit very, very hard and at high speed, and Gavigan took the full brunt of it there on that occasion.
Yeah, fair play to him. Actually, it's exactly you'd want to see somebody doing. The Dunloe lad was about to swing through it, and he put his body on the line. You know, probably a sore one. Seems to hurt his arm or shoulder here, but look, brave play. A good block down and stop Eunan's getting up the pitch with it. But look, after a lively start, the scores has been hard come by. You know, Eunan's had a couple of chances from frees there and missed them, but both defences are fairly well on top here. If you count 5-4 in a hurling game after 28 minutes, you'd be happy. Going at half time, your defence is holding the team to that. So, as I say, Eunan's are against the breeze and maybe be quite happier. But as you say, I just feel maybe St Eunan's or Dunloe could get Richie out around the 45, and like if he wins a ball there and gets fouled, you know, it's a point and stuff. Instead of on there and getting doubled up on, maybe get a wee bit of use out of him out the pitch for the last 3 or 4 minutes in this half to see if he get a score or two.
So there's going to be a bit of time added on at the end of the first half. The clock continues to tick away here. It's 28 and a half minutes played, and they're just checking to see that Kevin Gavigan is okay. He's back on his feet. Mark Brown's checking him out as well. Yeah, we're getting the nod that he's all right. Seems to be that he's okay. He's nodding to the referee. He's not nodding to us. By the way, the scoreboard's changed. It's been corrected. It is 5-4 here at the O'Donnell Park in Letterkenny on a big day for hurling. This is their showpiece event, of course. 3 finals on. They're always a very successful day, and it's an opportunity for these sides who have made deciders to showcase their talent, and Letterkenny Gaels certainly done that against Spurt in the opening game to take the junior title, and we're having a good game here in the intermediate as well. It's a 5-4 fixture. St Eunan's in front on the attack again. That's a good delivery in, so it is to the forward who's working hard, trying to ride a couple of challenges, lays it back. There's a chance of a goal here. Saved by the keeper. And there's going to be a free in as well. Philip Rogers got his hurl to it, but there was a high arm there, Mark Brown is indicating. So it's going to be a free to St Eunan's, who will now have a better opportunity to go 2 in front. Gavin Ford's going to come out again. Ford so far in this game has had 2 points. He's had lots of opportunities. Playing into the wind in the River Swilly end of the ground here at the O'Donnell Park. And you would expect Ford all day long to send this one over, which he does. And Ford now makes it a 6-4 game. Gavin Ford has 3 points in this tie, contributing half of St Eunan's score, and it goes out to 2 now, and there's going to be 3 minutes added on at the end of the half.
Great delivery in there, actually, from Brendan Gaffney and to Jordan Barr in the corner, and it's great delivery in and a great take by him, and he took his man on. There was a foul committed, but the ref gave a bit of advantage as he should, and Naomh materialised from it. But nice play, nice ball in, nice take from Jordan Barr, who's been very lively in that first half, to be fair, working hard, and he's causing Dunlow a lot of problems. So as you say, they seem to drop Brendan Gaffney out around the middle here now. It must be to get more of a supply line in, and that was a great supply at last ball.
Just a score coming through if you're interested in Masters football. Donegal taking victory today in that replay of the All-Ireland semi-final. They defeated Sligo 113 to 111. That now means Donegal will play Tyrone in the top level All-Ireland Masters final in a couple of weeks' time, so well done to them. The hurling action continues here at the O'Donnell Park, and it's going to be another free to St Eunan's, and we're at a period in the game where St Eunan's are looking to build on this advantage that they have, and silly fouls they got from Dunlow, really you'd be looking to eradicate those. You really shouldn't be doing them at this stage in the half as you try to keep the deficit down, Mickey.
No, they've been fouling a lot there, actually, and any time it goes in there, they're just no stupid wee fouls. Maybe the Eunan's forward's got his back to goal there, just stand up if he was going to beat you to it and see what he's like in front of the post. But if you're going to keep fouling, Gavin Ford's going to punish you, and as you say, they're just struggling with a bit of legs in there. I think Eunan's are starting to move them about, and the spaces are open up, and they're just struggling. If Eunan's getting behind, they're feared of the 3-pointers, so they're taking them down. But the Dunlow defence is starting to struggle there in the last 5 or 10 minutes.
Back-to-back scores from Ford. The last 3 scores have all come from St Eunan's as they lead by 7 points to 4, and we've still got a minute of the half of injury time still to play at the end of the game. James Hartnett now can't control it. Great hurling by Paul O'Donnell, and St Eunan's have it back, and they're not done yet here, so they're not in these closing stages. Good block in by the wing back and Nicholas Worley, but St Eunan's have it back once again. Well, they thought they had it back with Killian Barr. The ball's on the deck, and again the scrap's there for it. Who will come out with it? St Eunan's have it at the moment. The player goes to ground, soccer style, kicked into the air, into space it goes. Eunan's have it back, launched forward again. Calvin Adu's in there looking for it, so is Ford. There's a bump in the back of Ford, but Ford's continued his run. Ford has it now just on the 45. He sends that one in, but it's not going to have the distance. It had the accuracy, but not the height on it, and it was easy enough dealt with by Philip Rogers, the Dunlow goalkeeper. It's in around the middle once again. The scrap is on. Fintan O'Toole's in there for Dunlow, and he's trying to get back on his feet. The ball's released, and again they continue to harry for it here. Both sets of players scrapping hard for it. St Eunan's come away with it. Paul O'Donnell clears the danger, but his opposite 9 is Kevin Gavigan. He can't control it, and St Eunan's, well, they have it again. There's a foul in there, and Dunlow players are not happy, and this will probably be the last action of the half, and it's going to give Gavin Ford the opportunity to make it a 4-point advantage. Dunlow haven't scored since the 15th minute, Mickey.
No, and it's going to come back to bite the machine because there's a slight breeze here, and you feel the Union's going to that second half, and they seem to be a bit more fitter, that Dunlow's going to struggle with them. There again, just the work rate of Pierce Glynn against 2 Dunlow men. He just kept battling, got his hands on the ball, and just forced him into come into another free. But as I say, it would just come from legs. Number 14 just working around and chasing the ball down and putting Dunlow under pressure when they had plus man plus up there, you know.
Gavin Ford is not happy with it. He's going to tail out to the left and wide. He'll be disappointed with that. 5 wides for St Eunan's at the break here. It is 7 plays 4. It should be 8 plays 4. It should be a 4-point advantage for St Eunan's, but that's not the case. But certainly in the second quarter of that half, the second half of the opening half, St Eunan's sort of showed their dominance and deservedly leading by the 3 points, Mickey.
They're rushing. If you take Dunlow, I think they had 3 points on the board after 3 or 4 minutes, maybe 5 minutes, and then clipped another one, and then haven't scored since the 15th minute. And in a hurling game, rushing, that's just not going to be good enough for them. And they're out here against a bit of a breeze. And look, I just felt that a good start with Richie, but Dunlow Eunan's got copped onto it fairly quick after 15 minutes and snuffed that out a few times, and Dunlow have struggled to score since. So looks like Eunan's beginning the happier team. Actually, you never know in hurling. I feel Dunlow might have to hit the net a few times against that breeze, but as I say, 3 points is not in hurling, but Dunlow or Eunan's seem to be the fitter and more drilled team there going by the first half.
So Dunlow have lots of work to do in the second half. St Eunan's will be looking to build on their advantage. The Letterkenny side are leading here by 3 points. At the break in this Donegal Intermediate Hurling Final, it's St Eunan's 7 points, Dunlow 4 points.
Richie Ryan, so that's a bit of bet in there, you know. The first score from Richie Ryan, there you go.
Yeah, the first score is over the bar, and just sizing it up. Here comes Ryan, and that one goes high, and that one tails over the bar. 2 from Richie Ryan. Dunlow need to hear hook it forward, but it only comes to Conor Diver. Diver sizes this one up outside the 45. That one is high, and it drops over the bar, and Diver's got his first in the space, and Calvin Edu is chasing this one down. 80 now, turns on it. Is this one going to find the target? Yes, it does. And St Eunan's have got their opening with the first score of the game. And now we watch Gavin Ford, 64 metres out, sends it high, and that one drops, and it drops over the bar. It's picked up there again now. I think it's Ellison who pops it forward. And St Eunan's looking for a score here. And the big 18 is the centre half forward to take victory in the junior final. Again now, Ford is out ahead of O'Donnell. He turns again on the other side of the pitch, and he's got a second point here. Minute of the tie. And St Eunan's were able to deal with it. They thought they were able to deal with it. Kevin Gavigan, it comes to him, and he's punished St Eunan's now for that mistake. And Gavigan's about 50 metres out in the Dunlow half, and it's St Eunan's who have it. It's Donahue who has it. Steps inside the 40-metre arc and sends that one over the bar. And around here at the O'Donnell Park. And you would expect Ford all day long to send this one over, which he does.
See what he's like in front of the post, but if we're going to keep fouling, Gavin Ford's going to punish you, know, and as I say, they're just struggling with a bit of legs in there. I think Eunan's are starting to move them about.
At Michael Murphy Sports and Leisure, we cater for everyone, from top sporting athletes to relaxed casual sporting individuals and everyone in between. We also provide a large range of teamwear services and cater for schools and clubs. Orders can be customised to your specification to suit your individual needs. From clothing to equipment, we've got you covered.
And welcome back here to the O'Donnell Park in Letterkenny for the second half of this intermediate final, where St Eunan's are leading by 3 points to 4 against Dunlow at the break. And in this second half, St Eunan's will be assisted by the strong breeze that's blowing up the field. It seems to be the rain is on its way back as well. I see there's a change there too on the Dunlow side. Number 22, who is John Boyle, is into the game for Dunlow. We'll get confirmation of that change in just a second as to who he is replacing. I don't think there's any changes on St Eunan's, but we'll know more in just a few moments. Both sets of teams out onto the pitch for the second half. Gavin Ford has been the scoring man for St Eunan's so far this afternoon. He's had 4 of the 7 points. Stephen Donough's had a good first half too. He's knocked over 2 points. And who got the other one? Yeah, Calvin Ada was the man that scored the other one. That was Eunan's opening score in 8 minutes. That stage they were trailing by 3 points to no score. Richie Ryan got 2 in the opening 3 minutes. Conor Diver scored as well. And Kevin Gavigan was the third scorer for Dunlow, and it might be possible Gavigan could be the player away off, because he did take a heavy hit towards the end of the first half. 22 for 10 actually. That is John Boyle, who is in for the wing forward Owen Walsh. So that's the change being made by the Dunlow management. So the ball is in play once again as the action continues here on intermediate final day, and it's St Eunan's in the second half, playing into the clubhouse end of the ground. And the junior decider, of course, the scoring goals seem to be the ones up at the clubhouse end of the ground. That wasn't the case for the first half of the seniors, but Dunlow now need a good start here in the second half. Richie Ryan's going to be their target man. He's dropped the ball, bundled about in there. St Eunan's have it back once again. Working hard is John McIntyre. The scraps on for the ball, which is on the deck. Players back on their feet. And St Eunan's trying to clear the danger. They haven't dealt with this right at all. Richie Ryan's still going in there, trying to power his way through a couple of players. Comes off a St Eunan's hurl. That should be a 65 to Dunlow, which Mark Brown agrees with, as does the umpire. So we're going to have the opening score here of the second, well, a possible opening score here of the second half from this tie for the Dunlow men. Now, if we look down at the flags, there's a very, very strong breeze coming up the field from the River Swilly end of the ground, and Dunlow are playing into that in this second half. And Richie Ryan's going to take this 65 as he just places the ball. And Ryan, of course, got the opening 2 scores of this game. He's looking for the opening score of the second half, and one which would bring the deficit for the Dunlow men down to 2. That one's not going to find the target. It comes off after a clash of hurls, and it's going to be marked as a wide, and that would be wide number 5 for Dunlow. It stays at a 7-4 game. Mickey McCann, Donegal senior team manager, is on co-commentary, and I suppose Mickey Dunlow will be looking for a lively start to this latter half to get back into it.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to take every chance to get Oisin like them freeze, and it's only a 3-point game, so anything can happen, but it's a wee bit of breeze here behind Eunan's. You expect them to clip the scores a wee bit easier in this half. And I see Richie maybe drifting out the pitch again, but I think that's a place for him for a while, because Eunan's was on to the way they were using him. But as I say, I think Eunan's or Dunlow's going to have to take all their chances to be on this game to the end, you know.
Well, scraps on once again to get control of possession here. Both sets of teams working hard to try and get on that ball. It's going to be a sideline puck here now for St Eunan's, and St Eunan's will go on the attack once again. And I see lots of the St Eunan's senior players now just making their way to the changing room, because they of course have a big senior decider to get ready for as well, coming up at 5 o'clock this evening. They meet Setanta, but Dunlow here are looking to get back into this tie. Launched forward, up the channel it goes. Out they come for it, but the forward, who's just onto the pitch, John Boyle, can't control that one. There's a push in the back, and it's going to be a free to St Eunan's, deep in their own half. The free will be taken by Stephen Doherty for the Letterkenny side, who of course are looking to win this cup for the very first time. And Mark Brown's telling the player to get on with it. Taking as much time as possible there, Stephen Doherty. So far in the second half, 3.5 minutes played. We still await the first score of the half. It's a 7-4 fixture. Dunloe were able to pick up the ball around the middle with Gavigan, who does well here, Gavigan, but somebody got a hurl in there. The ball was dropped. They probably should have released it to his forward line a bit sooner than that, but in the meantime, St Eunan's are sort of making a mess of it at the moment as both teams chase it down. Mark Mulholland wins a free after a clash there with the 23, James Hartnett.
Yeah, good run there. Ashing by Kevin Gavigan through the middle, but Eunan's very patient in the tackle and just made a run onto a heap of Eunan's bodies, turned the ball over and a free out again. So good defender by Eunan's, and a free here from Stephen Doherty. Expect this to go the whole way to the edge of the square,
So that free is taken back once again by Doherty. Doherty sends it up the field. And the wing forward here is Jordan Barr. He wants to open and score the second half. Young Barr's got it as well. And now it's a 4-point game. Jordan Barr's got his first of this tie. A well-taken score into the clubhouse end of the ground.
Yeah, good free out of defence for Stephen Doherty, picking out the run, and a good tick by Jordan Barr, and a good finish. And he, as I said in the first half, he's been very lively, Oisin, and works hard, and he deserved that score, because he's done a lot of hard work here for Eunan's up front.
So Eunan's are on the attack again with Pierce Glynn. Glynn sends it forward, looking for Ford. Ford's working hard. Him and Sean O'Donnell are having a good old battle in this tie. So they are. But the ball's released again. They're chasing at it. Glynn is the man who picks it up. It's sent into space. It's going to bounce inside the D. Who's going to get there first? That's Damien McGowan, the centre half back for Dunloe. And the presence of Edu there. Well, the referee said Edu was committing a foul, so it's going to be a free out once again to Dunloe.
Yeah, you just did
deep inside their own half.
Calvin there in a lot of space. It was very close to being hummed through in the net, and you just feel the longer this game goes on with Dunloe chasing it, the space is going to open up front for the legs and maybe St Eunan's to punish them. And I thought it was a yard shorter. I think Calvin was through in nets there. So, but again, as I say, you can get away with that in hurling, and maybe a 3-pointer here, but Dunloe will change this game. But you just feel Eunan's are starting to get on top, and working the ball well out of defence and moving forward good, Yep.
Just looking at the St Eunan's sub, there's some notable footballers that's included on the substitute bench for the hurlers today. They've been part of the squad at stages through the year. We just watch the play continue. That one's going out to the right and wide by Ford, so that would be 6 wide, for St Eunan's now in this game. Thanks to Conor O'Donnell Senior is named among the hurlers, as is James Kelly, both of course senior footballers here at the Letterkenny Club. And Eugene Organ, who's the manager of the senior side, is also named at number 29 for the intermediate side for this final. I don't think Organ's going to feature in this one. He'll be too busy getting the seniors ready for a massive tie to come against Setanta, who are looking to get their hands, of course, back on that coveted trophy, because Burt were the champions last year, Setanta won it the year before, St Eunan's won it the year before that, so both Setanta and St Eunan's looking to get their hands on the trophy once again for the senior hurling champions. But listen, all that is to come later. We've still got a match to conclude here at intermediate level. The man with 18 in his back is Stephen Donoghue, who's decided to leave that now. Well, they're going to go short. Yeah, Brendan Gaffney is going to go back the way. Ford's going to go back the way. And sent up, out comes the forward, but just can't control it. Looked like Glynn took his eye off at the last second, and with that sod being heavy today as well, that there's not the same bounce, I suppose, in it. And there's a foul committed there by the Dunloe player on the cornerback, and I think for descent now, Mark Brown's going to pull that one forward, and he's telling the Dunloe player to come as well. So obviously the Dunloe player is making his way over. Said something that Mark Brown is not at all happy about, and there's our first yellow card of the day, dished out to a Dunloe player, who will confirm for you in just a second once he gets turned around there. We get the number off him. Just looking at it, it quite possibly might be, is it Wade? We'll wait to see who it is as he works his way back up the field in the meantime. That free's taken, another wide one by Ford. That's 7 wides now in this game here for St. Eunan's. They stay 4 points in front. We've had 8.5 minutes of hurling and just a single score.
Yeah,
Dunloe won it again around the middle. Sorry, Michael, go ahead.
If you look at Dunloe, it's still since the 15 minutes. No, you've 23 minutes of hurling gone there now for Dunloe, and no scores at the end of it. They're really going to have to get the scoreboard taken over very soon here, because this game will soon pass them by. 20 odd minutes in a game of hurling with no scores, just not going to cut it. So here's a chance for them here maybe now. James Hartnett, yeah, good score. Dunloe needed that badly, Oisin, because as I say, it's 20 odd minutes since I got a score, and just looking out as a manager, you'd be worried.
24 minutes to be exact, Mike.
Yeah, that's a long time in a game of hurling, and you're just looking up here about the space up front that Eunan's have created here now. If they can get the ball in there, Dunloe's chasing the game, and you'd fear that they could concede goals here, but they're going to after the game as they should, but it's going to be risky, Aishin, but they've nothing else to do here now, because they've got to get the scoreboard taken over.
Yeah, it's 8-5 here at the moment, and once again we welcome our listeners to Highland Radio Saturday Sport. As St. Eunan's go on the hunt for another score. Edu's effort dropped short. It's easy enough for Philip Rogers to deal with. It's an 8-5 game here, by the way. We've just had 2 scores in the second half to tell you about. Jordan Barr for St. Eunan's and James Hartnett for Dunloe. Still 3 points separating the sides. There's 65 now. Yeah, coming for St. Eunan's after a long effort coming from deep to try and make it a 4-point advantage once again for St. Eunan's, but that didn't materialise, and the man who's going to take the 45 on this occasion is Brendan Gaffney. And Gaffney's going to have a crack at this. I have seen Ford, of course, taking a lot of the place ball stuff for St. Eunan's in the opening half, but Gaffney's going to have a go at it now. It's almost dead centre to the black spot and crossbar. Gaffney looking to make it a 4-point game. Here he comes. Gaffney sends out high.
Looks good.
Yeah, it's very good. So it is from young Brendan Gaffney, who gets his first today, and it's back to a 4-point game, 9-4 to St. Eunan's. Yeah,
and I suppose all the play you were talking about Eunan's and how bad Dunloe were for 24 minutes. There was still only 3 points in it until that score. So Eunan's is going to have to, put this game out of sight, or you never know what can happen. Going down the stretch if there's only 1 or 2 pucks the ball in it.
Midfielder Stephen Doherty launches one and looking for Ford again. Ford is able to get round Sean O'Donnell. Ford has it. We can find a bit of space there. Ford, he hooks at it. Short again and into the keeper's hand. Rogers deals with it with a lot of ease. Gets it away now to Nicholas Worley. Worley now, is he going to send it up the line? He's going to come back in field. Nearest man to him is Damien McGowan. McGowan now has men free just on the edge of his own half. Brendan Boyle's the man that has it. His efforts blocked down. He made a bit of a mess of it. It was Donoghue who blocked it down, but now Boyle has it back and he's charging up the park. Flicks one forward. Don't know if that was an effort or not. It was blocked down, but St. Eunan's, well, they seem to have it back. Chasing hard for it, trying to release it. Gets it away now to Donoghue once again. That one goes up top. It's going to bounce in front of the defender, Sean O'Donnell. But St. Eunan's are able to go in there and steal that with Glenn, but just too much on it as it goes in the air. It's still there, and it's Edu who does well. It's pulled back here. Referee's played advantage. Here comes Edu. He can't control it. The referee's going to pull it back, and it seemed to be Sean O'Donnell was the man that was holding on to his tail, and it's going to be a free here now to St. Eunan's, dead straight in front of the post, and St. Eunan's now looking to go 5 in front for the first time here with almost 43 minutes played, and they just couldn't deal with the powerful running of Edu on that occasion. Gavin Ford telling Gaffney, I want to take this, and you would expect Ford to send this one over the bar and bring his total to 5. St. Eunan's would go to 10. That's not the case. It goes low straight at the keeper, and it's another miss from Ford, another miss from St. Eunan's, and it stays at 4 points.
Yeah, I suppose Brendan Gaffney put one over from 65. I seen just the strike before that, and you'd wonder why he just doesn't step up and hit that easier one. And look, that's a poor miss to put 5 on it, and put a wee bit of daylight between the two teams. I think Brendan Gaffney obviously step up and take the next, because you've got to be taking them chances. But probably a good foul on Dunlow's part to give that free away, Oisin, because Calvin was going through in the net, and it was definitely going to be a 3-point chance. So probably good defending if you're in the Dunlow management side. You'd be saying to do that, you know. But I just think they're living dangerously here and around there, and Eunice could get in very handy for a goal.
Yeah. So Richie Ryan out around the middle now for Dunlow. Sends that one high. It's going to drop on the edge of the 21. It's picked up there, shrugging off the challenge. There comes now up the line. St. Eunan's on the march once again. Linking up on this occasion is Barr and Donoghue. But Donoghue's effort again is just going to go out for the wide. That will be 8 wides now in this game. And St. Eunan's certainly dominant in this game. When you think about how many have dropped into the keeper's hands, how many opportunities they missed, their wide count as well. They haven't been as clinical as they hoped to be, despite leading before points here in front of the post, Mickey.
No, and that a great take there by John McIntyre, to be fair, from Eunan's, you know, a great field in the box. But like, they're keeping Dunlow in this game, to be fair, Oisin, and if you look at it, it's 30 minutes. Dunlow scored 1 point in 30 minutes now, and they're still in touching distance in this game. So look, Eunan's could rue all these chances at the end if they don't start getting putting a few of these chances away and getting a bit of daylight between the two teams, because it's got really, really sloppy out here, you know, and spaces are opening up and both teams are starting to tire maybe. So
you see Edu over on the far side as well, just suffering a bit of cramp.
Yeah.
Fuzzy was over with them at the moment. He's done a lot of running at Calvin Edu, and St. Eunan's on the attack. Stephen Donoghue now. There's a room for him here to get another score. Turns on to the hurl, and that one goes over the bar. 3 points for Stephen Donoghue, and now we have a 5-point advantage. Stephen Donoghue has 3 in this game, and St. Eunan's had a lot of space in that occasion.
Yeah, and he's been very accurate. I think Stephen Donoghue's took maybe his 3 chances. He's put 3 of them over the bar, you know, and he's been very clinical for Eunan's when he gets in them possessions, and doesn't waste much. And look, a very important score, because they've been very wasteful in the last 10 minutes, and that game's out to 5. And look, Eunice should just be saying, let's just keep taking our points here and force Dunlow out from the defence, you know, and the gaps will open up now at this stage. But as I say, you've got to get that 6 or 7 point lead really in hurling to get any kind of daylight. So they need to clip on another couple of scores here.
So it's a 5-point game. It's 10-5, and we have under 14 minutes to go now. And there's a big question being asked of Dunlow. Tristan Boyle, by the way, is into the game, taking the place of Rob Ryan. So a change again by the Dunlow management. Edu does well, launches it forward. He's going to drop there just on the edge of the 21 as Ford is out ahead of them. He's got support here now with Gaffney. Gaffney looking to control it. He does well to get it into his grasp, looking to get round Sean O'Donnell.
He's out over the line, as you know.
Yeah. Oh, this ball is pulled back. Referee's going to blow for a free here. The referee had the whistle blown. The advantage wasn't played. The whistle was blown as well, so it has to come back. The goal's not going to count. But I think it's safe to say Eunan's are going to be 6 up here. Yeah,
6 up, and I suppose probably the ref blew it after Brendan took too many steps, maybe after he was fouled, so that's probably why he blew it. But that threat and space is on there, Oisin, every time it goes in there now. And as I say, Eunan's probably don't need goals, but they're going to get opportunities and suck Dunlow defender into making decisions like that. And it's out this 6-point game, which is going to be really, really tough for Dunlow to turn this deficit around, considering the breeze and the way that they know they've 1 point in 32 minutes now or something. That's it's not going to be good enough unless they're going to get 3 pointers here. Oisin's the only way they're going to get back into this game.
Yeah, Gavin Ford gets another score. That's now 5 for Gavin Ford, and St. Eunan's are 6 in front in this game for the first time. So it's 11-5, and with 12 minutes and 15 seconds left, it's a matter of St. Eunan's and their game management seeing out this game, adding on the scores. It's certainly all opened up for them now in the last number of minutes. They've got the last 3 scores from Gaffney, Donoghue and Ford. A couple of those have come from frees, and they're going to have the chance of another
free
one
into
here.
Gavin Ford again if he's going to take it, Oisin.
Gavin Ford down this left-hand side is going to take this free. He's just hugging the sideline. Now the angle is tight for Gavin Ford, but he's going to He's going to have a go. There's a change on as well. Brendan Boyle's off. Owen Walsh is in for Dunlow. And Ford's effort's going to go out to the wide. That's 9 wides now in this game. A change been made. 21 is coming in. Colin McAnespy is set to enter the game for St. Eunan's. Fresh legs in by the St. Eunan's management. We wait to see who he will replace. Pat Walsh just giving the instruction out to his officials that there's one coming here. Glenn wants one from distance. It's going to drop and drop. That's not far off score of the game there.
Yeah, it probably is, actually. You know, and it was well worked. They tidied the puck out up, and a nice square ball across the Pierce Glen and straight over the bar. You know, and as you say, that's all Eunan's got to do now is keep the scoreboard ticking over. Actually, a couple of more scores won this game for them, and look, you just feel it's going to be tough for them low to make any headway here, actually, because they just don't have the scoring power up front. They hurt Eunan's so far in this game, and you just can't see that changing. It looks like the gaps are all opening on Eunan's favour now, you know.
Yeah. Calvin Edu has gone off. Colin McAnespy has gone on. Calvin Edu worked hard today. He's a hard man to deal with, so he is, Mickey.
He is, and he's so pacey and it creates a lot of problems up front, you know. And again, Eunan's working hard and forcing it on low, letting they overcarry, you know. And probably the right call again by the ref again. He's probably took 5 or 6 steps there. But Eunan's look like they're going to see this out, Oisin, unless Dunlow get in for them 3-pointers we're talking about. But it doesn't really look like it, you know.
Yeah. So St. Eunan's now have another free here, which will be taken by Brendan Gaffney. No doubt he can hit them from distance. Gaffney is going to have a go here. It's a 12-5 game. We've still got 10 minutes left to go. Here comes Brendan Gaffney. Going long. Does it have the range to hit the target? Drops out for another wide. 10 wides now for St. Eunan's in this tie. But they do, of course, have a comfortable cushion of a 7-point advantage. Gavin Ford has scored 5 of those. Lots of them coming from frees. The bulk of them coming from frees. I think his opening 2 was play. The rest were from plays. Steve Donoghue's got 3 as well, so he has today. Brendan Gaffney, Jordan Barr, and Calvin Edu also getting on the score sheet, as did Pierce Glenn. And everything is going the way of St. Eunan's at the moment. It seems to be Dunlow just running out of gas here.
We did touch at the start how Eunan's were a wee bit more athletic than Dunlow. I have felt, and even the bench, you see young lads coming on there in fresh legs. You know, they seem to be very busy, and they're going to be in a position to hurt. So free on here to Dunlow again for Eunan's. Brendan Gaffney from distance.
Gaffney's going to take this 65 metres out, and that one was over the bar. That's 2 for Gaffney. 2 good scores as well. And that's a 13-5 game now. It's an 8-point advantage, and St. Eunan's are starting to steamroll Dunlow here in this tie, and we still have lots of time left to go in this intermediate final. It's a 13-5 fixture. So the scrap is on for the ball, and it's picked up again by St. Eunan's. Just laid off. It's midfield at the moment. Up it goes. There's still 8 minutes left of this tie. We welcome our listeners from Highland Radio Saturday Sport. It's been a dominant half and a dominant period by St. Eunan's. 5 unanswered scores to comfortably lead here by 13 points.
Sideline ball, I think, to Dunlow here on the 21. Sideline ball out.
And that's going to be taken by Damien McGowan. Sideline ball. There's questions being asked of Dunlow now, but we haven't seen any sort of indications of what answers would be coming their direction, because it hasn't been good, and it's been touched, and play continues. Dunlow are going to come away with it. Well, Brendan Gaffney's in there. He's working hard. The ball's been stripped to Gaffney. It's not cleared. Back it comes now to the midfielder, and that goes out to the left and wide. And the St. Eunan's supporters down below us thought Paul O'Donnell had found the target, and it's been marked as a wide by the umpire, and the linesman is going to talk to the referee. Mickey, how do you call that?
I thought it was over the bar, I think.
Right.
It was very close anyway.
I thought it was wide.
Did you?
I'm just saying that. But anyway, there's a meeting here between the officials. We wait to see what Mark Brown will do. Mark Brown is going to make the call. He's talking to his umpires. We're going to see a white flag here, Mickey. You could be right.
White ball.
No.
I don't think any no wide.
No, stays it wide.
Wide
Okay.
ball.
It remains 13-5. That now means it's 11 wides for St Eunan's, and there's another Dunlow substitution coming in. Oren Mulligan will be entering the game shortly. We've still got 6.5 minutes left to play of this game. And we'll confirm the man of the match in a couple of minutes. So we will, who will be getting the man of the match award in this intermediate decider. And no doubt it's going to be a St Eunan's man. Mickey will be picking that in a few moments' time.
We'll just see in about 5 minutes coming up, Washington, so we'll see who finishes.
Yeah.
There's a few lads in line for it here, I think.
Another wide for St Eunan's. That's now 12. Well, who is in line for it, Mickey, do you think now? Who would
I think Steve Donoghue at centre forward has been very effective when he's on the ball, you know. Brendan Gaffney had a very good second half from place ball, you know, and had a few big scores and around there, you know. Gavin Flint, or Ford, sorry, has been in and out of the game. And Jordan Barr, for me, has worked hard. He only scored 1 point, but has worked hard up around there, you know.
Okay, so a couple of contenders in there. St Eunan's have made a change. Johnny Lamb comes into the game, taking the place of Jordan Barr. And another late change there by St Eunan's. Fresh legs in. 5.5 minutes to go. The ball launched up the field. It's got by Brendan Gaffney. Comes back across the 13. Scrap is on for it once again. But Dunlow have it. The big six is Damien McGowan. McGowan now goes forward with it. Dunlow sent it towards the middle, but it's been cut out by Steve Donoghue. Can't control it. Dunlow are trying to get possession back again, and the ball's going to break free, and it's Donoghue that has it. Donoghue sends it in, but it's cut out there by Dunlow. We're into the closing 5 minutes of this Donegal intermediate hurling final, and there's going to be a break in play here because the Dunlow man down, and the knee seems to be the knee. He's holding his right leg. We're live commentary on Donegal GAA Stream Sport and on Highland Radio Saturday Sport here this afternoon, and we're going to pick our man of the match. So, Mickey McCann.
Probably just go in the second half, Washington, when it was needed. I think Brendan Gaffney hit some big scores there. You know, to me, I think he maybe between him and Steve Donoghue, but I think the young lad deserves a bit of credit there to step up and hit them frees, especially when Gavin maybe missed a few, and they had a few big scores there when they were struggling for scores, you know. Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to go with Brendan Gaffney for the man of the match, and the man who was looking for the details of the man of the match.
He's gone.
He's gone. He just walked away from us. He was there for the last 10 minutes looking for the man of the match. We give him man of the match, he walks away. But anyway,
we'll not name him.
We'll not be naming Frankie Doherty. No, but anyway, we'll keep going. So there's still a hold-up in play here. Unfortunately, there is a Dunlow player getting a bit of treatment. So there's going to be a change for St Eunan's coming in as well. 23, Lee Scanlon is going to be entered into the game. And he's going to take the place of 18, Steve Donoghue, was certainly a contender for the man of the match here in this intermediate final. So just confirming Lee Scanlon coming in. Gavin Ford's got 5 points today for St Eunan's. Steve Donoghue's just come off, gets a round of applause. He's scored 3 today. Brendan Gaffney's got a couple, and also in there we've had scores from Edu, Jordan Barr, and Pierce Glynn as well. And it looks like this Dunlow player's day is done. I think it's the 23 it's coming towards. Is that James Hartnett, is it?
James Hartnett, yeah.
James Hartnett, whose day is done. Unfortunately, a disappointing day for the side who are going to lose this unless there's a major miracle coming and get an injured in final day as well. So Hartnett gets a round of applause, as does Steve Donoghue, comes off. The clock continues to tick away. We're about to hit 2 minutes, but there will be lots of time added on at the end of this one as well.
Yeah, I think so James Hartnett was actually struggling to get into the game machine. Just his fellow yesterday, that he was carrying an injury, so just didn't hold out for him.
So the free will be taken by the Dunlow player, and the wind's kicking up again, and I would say the rain's not too far away, and it's going to get wet here ahead of the senior decider, which starts at 3 o'clock. blocked down there. Owen Walsh was the man who had that effort. The danger is cleared by Neely. Way up the field, but Dunloe have it once again, and the cornerback is Mark Gavigan. The sprint is on for it. Pierce Glynn working hard. It's not Pierce Glynn, sorry, it's JP Curran, the cornerback. St. Eunan's defence have done well today. This
great score.
Yeah, Conor Dever drops it over the bar. Conor Dever got one in the first half. That's now 2 in this game for him. That's a 6 point of a Donegal Intermediate Hurling final for Dunloe. Dever's got 2. And let's be honest about it, Mickey, when you score 6 points in the final, you're not going to be anywhere near the winner's podium.
Not going to be good enough. And to be fair to Conor Dever, I felt all the Dunloe lads, he's been very busy around the middle, you know, and he's kicked on with a couple of scores, but 6 points, obviously 2 points since the 15th minute, and you're now in the 60th. You know, in a hurling game, you'd be expecting one of your forwards to do that. Never mind getting that return from all of them. So, but are both maybe Union or Dunloe very wasteful up front, but Union's defence has been really on top. To be fair, and Dunloe just can't get on top of them, and you know they've been hard to break down. You know, and to be fair, actually in this game could be 20 points to 6. You know,
yeah.
Union's been very wasteful in front of the net, and neither team has hit the 3-pointer, so
that might make it more, I suppose, more disappointing for Dunloe that they know the opposition that won still weren't clinical enough in front of the post, Mickey.
Yes, I think so. You know, they've been wasteful enough, and they're still comfortable going into the last couple of minutes here. So Dunloe well beaten on the day. I shouldn't have to say Dunloe well beaten, I think.
So there's going to be 4 minutes added on at the end of this tie. Not enough time for Dunloe to get back into this as the sun's breaking through the really, really dark clouds which are approaching here. So I would say there's a serious skiff of rain set to join us very, very soon here at the O'Donnell Park at the end of the second game of the day, which the Union's are well in control of at the moment. There's 4 minutes going to be added on. The ball launched up once again. It's going to be marked as a 13th wide for St. Eunan's, and Dunloe will put the ball back into play once again, and then we're going to have the remainder of injury time to be played. And of course, still to come at 5 o'clock, the senior decider, which is live on Highland Radio Saturday Sport, and of course on Donegal GAA TV with streamsport.ie. And for descent, Mark Brown's going to bring this one forward again, and it's going to be a free for Dunloe inside the St. Eunan's half, and between the 45 and the 65, and around 55 metres. And Dunloe are playing into a very, very strong and stiff breeze in the second half, which really hasn't favoured them in any sort of way. They managed just 2 scores in the second half, Dunloe. Hartnett in 39 minutes, and then a short time ago Dover. And really in a game of hurling, it's going to be difficult to be anywhere near the winners, but they're going to go on the hunt for a goal here. They're going to drop one in front of the St. Eunan's goal, and it's going to go out and be marked as a wide, and it will be wide number 6 as well for Dunloe in this game. 2 minutes to go then of the 4 minutes being played at the end of the tie, as the rainbow appears in the distance over the cathedral in Letterkenny Town Centre, which is a lovely sight, but this rain comes this direction. It's not going to be too nice for the men coming up in the following game.
Yeah, if that rain comes on with that breeze, I think we're going to have an interesting senior
Who will
final.
that favour?
I don't know, the way Union's hurling this year, they're playing a lot of short ball through the lines, Oisín, and you'd feel that favours the good weather, you know.
Yeah.
And keeping possession is the way they've been hurling all year. So I don't think Satanta will mind if it does get wet. You know, I think it could affect Union's more, and with the likes of big Josh Connolly and boys on full forward for Union's, you know, with that big strong, or for Satanta, sorry, the big strong athletic boys, you know, they'll like a bit of a battle. So if the rain does come on heavy, you know, Satanta won't mind, I don't think.
Yeah. Somewhere over the rainbow, we've got big hurling deciders on today, as the rainbow was in full glow here in Letterkenny above the cathedral in the Aura Leisure Centre. 3 big games today on the showcase day of hurling in the county. And Letterkenny Gaels started the day with a comfortable one against Spurt, and St. Eunan's are going to mark the second game with a comfortable one against Dunloe. We're into the closing minute. There's a high challenge there. The referee has played advantage the ball's been given away, and it's going to give Dunloe the chance, another opportunity now to try and strike another score. And
Conor
reduce
Dover
the
again,
deficit to
actually,
6, yeah.
for Dunloe. You know, he hasn't given up all day, and again he's gone at Ewan's defence and bought a free. So you know, credit's due to him today. Put on a good shift for Dunloe, and he took 2 points out of the 6 come from him as well, and a couple of frees. So he's put on a good effort for them. You know, and they're after this goal here now. They're trying to find Richie, but the Unions have the space as well closed up here. Actually, and a lot of bodies back. So it's going to be really hard to get on again. Union's getting away with it here.
St Eunan's are able to clear the danger once again. It hasn't worked out for Richie Ryan up top and around the middle. They were hoping that he would be the impact man today for Dunloe. That wasn't the case. We have played the 4 minutes of time added on, and I would say the referee might just blow it up here, and it will bring to an end the intermediate decider. Mark Brown has the whistle in the mouth. Dunloe have the ball, and it's going to be a free for Dunloe on the edge of their half, so Mark Brown's going to play another couple of extra seconds here at the end of this tie. St Eunan's comfortably leading by 7 points. The ball's in the air. It's going to drop in front of the house here, so it is down at the River Swilly end of the ground. St Eunan's cleared the danger. There goes the final whistle. And for the first time in the club's history, St Eunan's are Donegal Intermediate Hurling Champions. They have defeated Dunloe today by 13 points to 6. And Mickey McCann, who was on commentary for this tie, listen, the gap could have been further, so it could have, but St Eunan's off to a dominant start in their day of having 2, I suppose, teams in finals, but in this opening game, fully deserving of the victory. They could have won it by more, but there was only really one side in this, so there was after 10 minutes of this tie.
Yeah, you take it. Dunloe started very brightly. I seen the 3 points on the board very quick, and then from after that it was one-way traffic. You know, Unions have just more legs, seem to be better drilled, and look, all-round better team, and it just shows the strength and depth that maybe Unions have coming in hurling with them in the decider next, and beating Dunloe's first team here, who were in the senior championship last year or whatever. Look, it's part 1 done for Unions today. I know they're after 2 cups. The main one is still to come, but that'll give a wee boost to the lads coming out here too, that they've done their part here now and getting Unions over the line and push on now to try to get the senior cup. But look, no doubt Unions are the better team. I think when they got on top of the Richie Ryan thing, that they found out that Dunloe had very little after it, you know, apart from maybe Conor Dover put on a good shift, as I said. But when they closed Richie out, I felt that they were fairly comfortable everywhere else, you know. Yeah.
So the early part of this game, 4 minutes on the clock. Dunloe were leading by 3 points to no score. By the 14th minute, St Eunan's were leading 4-3, and after that, the Cathedral Town side were total dominant because they went out then to an 8-4 advantage early in the second half. Then it became 13-5 with Dunloe getting the last score of the game, but that was a 7-point defeat for Dunloe. St Eunan's, it was a very, very comfortable 7-point win, to be fair. They dropped lots into the keeper's hands. They had 13 wides in this tie. Gavin Ford hit 5 points. Steve Donoghue was in contention for man of the match, hit 3. The man of the match for the second half performance was Brendan Gaffney, with Pierce Glynn probably getting the score of the game. Jordan Barr and Calvin Edu also got on the score sheet today for the St Eunan's side, who are intermediate champions on the hurling front for the very first time on a final scoreline of 13 points to 6. And we'll have reaction for you shortly.
Up on side along with Richie Ryan. So that's a bit of first score. Richie Ryan, there you go.
First score is over the bar, just sizing it up. Here comes Ryan. That one goes high, and that one tails over the bar. 2 from Richie Ryan. The low need to here to hook it forward, but it only comes to Conor Dover. Dover sizes this one up outside the 45. That one is high, and it drops over the bar, and Dover's got his first on his face, and Calvin Edu is chasing this one down. 80 now, turns on it. Is this one going to find the target? Yes, it does. And St Eunan's have got their openings, the first score of the game. And now we watch Gavin Ford, 64 metres out, sends it high, and that one drops, and it drops over the bar. It's picked up there again now. I think it's Ellison who pops it forward. And St Eunan's looking for a score here. And the big 18 is the centre half forward to take victory in the junior final. Again now, Ford is out ahead of O'Donnell. He turns again on the other side of the pitch, and he's got a second point here. Minute of the tie, and St Eunan's were able to deal with it. They thought they were able to deal with it. Kevin Gavigan, it comes to him. and he's punished St Eunan's now for that mistake. And Gavin about 50 metres out in the Dunlow half, and it's St Eunan's who have it. It's Donoghue who has it. Steps inside the 40-metre arc and sends that one over the bar. And around here at the O'Donnell Park, and you would expect Ford all day long to send this one over, which he does.
He's like in front of the post, but if you're going to keep fouling Gavin Ford's going to punish you, and to say he just struggling with a bit of legs in there.
Back once again by Doherty. Doherty sends it up the field.
But well done, congratulations to you, to your team, to your manager and to your club. And it's now a great occasion for me to take this opportunity of handing over the cup. Before doing so, I want to thank the McInnes family, who are happy supporters of our senior hurling and of our hurling here in our competitions. They have been with us for many, many years, and I'd like to thank the McInnes family for that contribution. So Connor, we are anxious to get this cup. I had it holding back for a wee minute, so it's now a pleasure on behalf of Donegal GAA to hand the cup to Connor.
At Michael Murphy Sports and Leisure, we cater for everyone, from top sporting athletes to relaxed casual sporting individuals and everyone in between. We also provide a large range of teamwear services and cater for schools and clubs. Orders can be customised to your specification to suit your individual needs. From clothing to equipment, we've got you covered.
And you're welcome back here to the O'Donnell Park. 2 games of 3 completed on hurling final day here in Letterkenny, and I'm delighted to say I'm joined by the winning captain of the St Eunan's side, who were just crowned intermediate champions for the very first time in the club's history, and that is Conor Neely. Conor, thanks for joining us so quickly.
No bother, no bother.
Congratulations, well done.
Thank you.
Big performance.
Oh, it was indeed. Yeah, it was hard. Now they're a good team, and they're a couple of very powerful men out there, and it took a lot to beat them. So I'm happy we did in the end up.
Yeah. Listen, I think it's fair to say, maybe despite the first 5 minutes, it was really all Eunan's in that game. Would you agree?
Probably was, except the scores weren't quite going over the way we wanted, and it kept them close enough in it, except by and large the possession was mostly ours, I'd say.
Yeah, sort of. But once you've got a grip on this game, you were leading by 3 points, and then you came out and hit 4 for the very first time. The squeeze was really on the opposition.
Yes, it was indeed. Yeah. All of us, we worked hard. We've a couple of great managers in there, and they riled all of us up at half time and put us out in the mission. So
yeah. Well, listen, you have won the title, but I'm sure in the lead up to this, and it's been all season, you boys have worked very, very hard, because you have 2 groups of very serious hurlers here.
Oh yeah.
So there is, along with the seniors.
Yeah, it's been a year like no other I've experienced. Like the numbers out from right into January onwards, it was 30 and 35 and 40 boys out of training. Like, it's unreal stuff.
Yeah. Well, listen, many congratulations.
Thank you.
Can you go again now in the next game?
I think so, yeah. I think we can. Certainly hope so as well.
Okay, well, listen, many congratulations to you and the boys in your intermediate success.
Thank you.
Well done,
Thank
Conor.
you.
Perfect. Well done. Good man, Conor. Good man.
At Michael Murphy Sports and Leisure, we cater for everyone, from top sporting athletes to relaxed casual sporting individuals and everyone in between. We also provide a large range of teamwear services and cater for schools and clubs. Orders can be customised to your specification to suit your individual needs. From clothing to equipment, we've got you covered.